When you picture someone who's financially free, who do you see? Most people picture a beach somewhere, someone on a yacht, or a big house, someone who's finally rich enough to stop worrying about money. But what if financial freedom doesn't actually look like that? What if the real goal isn't to have more money, but to have more time? So in this video, I want to share what financial freedom actually looks like for me and why it has a lot less to do with being rich than most people think. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Stephanie and I'm in my 40s, and my financial journey hasn't exactly followed a straight line. I married young, became a mom at 19, went through a divorce and layoffs, and later paid off $180,000 in debt. Now I'm remarried, on track to paying off our home, and moving toward early retirement. And this channel is where I share what I'm learning and what's actually working as I go. If you're on this journey too, you're in the right place. Most people assume that financial freedom is being wealthy, big house, going on lots of vacations, just doing whatever you want and spending money however you want. Most people assume that financial freedom equals being wealthy. You have enough money to do whatever it is that you please. But that version requires millions of dollars and a lifetime to probably achieve that. And then it starts to feel impossible for your everyday working person. You think to yourself, man, I have years to go. It's not very motivating to think you're going to retire in 30, 40, or even 50 years, or even get to retire. So my version isn't about living luxurious, to have some, expensive car parked in my driveway or to go on vacations every other week. And it's about having enough margin to breathe, which means fewer financial emergencies. If something happens to, my house or my vehicle, I'm not going to freak out about it, right? That's financial freedom to me, where I say, okay, it's a little bit of an inconvenience, sure, but I have the means to get on with my life. I pay whatever bill it is, the $175 or whatever the cost is to get something fixed. One year I went on vacation, and when I came back, my hot water heater went out. Yeah, it sucked. We had to take cold showers that particular night when I came back on vacation, but I called the plumber the very next day and they came out here and installed a new one. And yeah, it was a little bit stressful that first day, but I had the funds to replace it. I wasn't freaking out about, like, do I have the, $1,200 to $1,700 to get this guy out here to look at it, to get it installed, to get it replaced, to get the permit to have it done. There's all these things that happen with it, and the only inconvenience to me was, how long am I going to be without cold water? Not, can I afford this? Can I, pay this guy? Do I got to take out, put this on my credit card to pay this off? So it's about more control over my choices. And, I'm able to make the decision where I say, hey, call the plumber, get him to come out here and install a new one. I mean, maybe I'll shop around a little bit and call a couple of them, but it's priority. We got to get that taken care of. So I'm not stressing about exactly how much is this going to cost and can I afford it, rather than, hey, let's see if we can get, market value on what it's going to be and get it replaced tomorrow. But the biggest shift wasn't actually the money. People assume financial independence means traveling, luxury lifestyle, and that version can create pressure quickly, right? You're constantly trying to keep up with what new gadget is out there. Do you have the newest iPhone? Do you have the newest laptop? Are you, keeping up with the latest fashion trend? I mean, I feel like by the time I catch up with whatever fashion trend there is, like, it's already outdated. So, it's like, what's the point? And maintaining that high cost lifestyle requires constant income. You have to keep feeding it. You have to keep buying new things. You're replacing the old ones and getting new ones. And you're just constantly upkeeping with, what do I got to buy next? But financial freedom looks normal. You have a flexible schedule. Sure, it's on your time, right? But you're going to have a regular home, simple routines. You're still going to go to the grocery store, your same list that you wrote before, you're going to write it again, right? You're going to write your punch list of all your items that you need. You're not just going to, frivolously go to the store and buy a bunch of nonsense that you don't need. You're just going to continue that same boring, consistent routine, right? If you were able to take your lifestyle that you have now and continue it, but you just take that pressure of upkeeping out of the equation, you'll be able to consistently have an idea of what your lifestyle costs, right? No lifestyle creep equals consistent money every month on what you would need to survive and to live. Freedom often looks boring from the outside. You're not supposed to be able to look at your neighbor and say, hey, that guy's retired, right? You kind of think to yourself, what does that guy do all day? I always see him at home. Or the only time I see him come out is when he goes to the store. Or he's always gardening in his yard. I wonder what he does for a living. Those are the types of things where if you're trying to wonder on, is that person retired or not? I can't really tell. Or if you just don't even notice it. A lot of times, most people are just incognito. You have no idea if they're retired or not. And this is where my definition of financial freedom really started to change. Most people build their life around their work. Your work schedule determines everything. And once you remove that, you have all the time in the world to design your life the way you want to. You don't have anybody telling you what to do anymore. You are the designer of your life. You don't have to squeeze in a vacation, right? When someone asks you, hey, we're traveling to Florida next month. Do you want to go with us? Then you have to ask your boss, pretty please, can I go on vacation, right? You don't have anybody that you're waiting on to tell you. You're able to travel. You're able to do your hobbies, right? You're able to design your schedule the way you want to. Your life decisions no longer are postponed based on your work schedule. And having financial freedom is being able to have flexible work, having extended breaks, choosing projects that you want to work on, right? You're no longer pressured to take on work that you don't want to do anymore. It's stuff that you're passionate about and that you want to do for your life. If it doesn't fit what you want to do, you can say no. But the biggest change surprised me. People feel like financial freedom should be this big, exciting moment, right? This huge finish line that you've waited your whole life for, and you're going to feel it. It's going to be in your bones. You pass that finish line, and you're like, I'm here. I'm financially free. I made it. But that moment rarely arrives suddenly, it happens gradually, even before you even know it. The real feeling is just quiet, right? So that pressure that you felt before, that anxiety of not having enough or not saving enough, that just starts to diminish, starts to quietly disappear, or starts to quiet down. All of those what if thoughts, right? Like, what if I don't have enough money? What if I run out of money? What if I don't have enough? What if I can't, get to this bill on time? What if I'm late on this payment? All those what ifs start to go quiet as well. And you have more mental space. All of that noise that you used to hear in your head, it starts to get clearer now, and you know, you have time now to think of other things that are more important to you. When you get rid of all that noise, you now have time in your brain for things that you actually want to think of, right? Things that you actually care about. Spending time with friends, family, any kind of hobbies that you want to, pursue. Things that you normally would not have time to think about because you're stressed about everything else. All of that just starts to go away. Your creativity starts to come out, right? Your spontaneity, you wanting to try new things, exciting things, you think about things that you just didn't have time for before. Financial freedom feels less like excitement and more like peace. I've noticed in my everyday that I'm starting to, do things that I normally wouldn't have thought of before. I mean, this YouTube channel, right? Like, I would have never decided to try to even pursue it before because there was just so many things going through my head. And now that I'm on this path, I finally just thought to myself, screw it. Let me try it. Let me see what happens. Right? Like, I have nothing to lose. It's something that I'm passionate about and something that I want to do. So I'm going to do it because that's what I want to do, not because someone told me to do it, saying that I have to have a deadline for it. Right? Like, it's my time and something that I want to do. And this is something that I'm still learning how to do. Right? I'm still growing and I'm still learning. But my definition of financial freedom has definitely changed. And that's what this channel is really about, documenting the journey of financial freedom later in life, learning along the way and figuring it out together. If this video helped you in any way, please consider subscribing, as it really does help the channel grow. Hit the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.